This is the Haftarah, the reading from the prophets for this week's double parsha of Acharei Mot-Kedoshim. And there's two different customs. This one is for the Sephardim, according to the Sephardic tradition. I'm reading this one first because it's longer, and it's from two different books. Many times they overlap, but this time they're different altogether. This one is in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 2 through 20. 19 verses. Starting with verse 2. Vayhi devar Adonai Elai lemor. Then came the word of the Lord to me, saying, Ben Adam, daber el ziknei Yisrael v'amarta lehem, Ko amar Adonai Elohim, halidosh oti atem ba'im chai ani im idaresh lachem neum Adonai Elohim. Son of man, speak to the elders of Israel and say to them, so says the Lord God, have you come to inquire of me? As true as I live, I will not be inquired of by you, says the Lord God. Hatishpot otam atishpot ben adam et toavot avotam odiam. Will you contend with them? Will you contend, O Son of Man? Let them know the abominations of their fathers. V'amarta alehem, ko amar Adonai Elohim, bayom bachari b'Yisrael, ve'esa yadi לזרע יעקב ויוודע להם בארץ מצרים ואשא ידי להם לאמור אני אדוני אלוהיכם. And you shall say to them, so says the Lord God, on the day I chose Israel, then I lifted up my hand to the seed of the house of Jacob and made myself known to them in the land of Egypt when I lifted up my hand to them, saying, I am the Lord your God. Bayom hahu nasati yadi lahem lehotiam me'eretz Mitzrayim el eretz asher tarti lahem zavat chalav udvash tzvi hi lechol haratzot. On that day I lifted up my hand to them to bring them out of the land of Egypt to a land that I had sought for them, flowing with milk and honey. It is the glory of all the lands. The Omar Alehem Ish Shikutze Enav Ashlichu V'Gilgulei Mitzrayim Al Titamu ani Adonai Elohechem. And I said to them, every man cast away the despicable idols from before his eyes, and pollute not yourselves with the idols of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Vayam emaru bi v'lo avu lishmoa elai ish et shekutzei einehem lo hishlichu v'et gilulei Mitzrayim lo azavu Omar lishpoch chamati alehem kacha lechalot api bahem betoch eretz Mitzrayim. But they rebelled against me and would not consent to hearken to me. They did not cast away every man the despicable idols from before their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. And I said to pour out my wrath over them, to give my anger full reign over them, in the midst of the land of Egypt. Va'as leman va'as leman shemi lebilti hechel le'nei hagoyim asher hema b'tocham asher nodati alehem le'eneihem le'otziam me'eretz Mitzrayim. But I wrought for the sake of my name, so that it should not be desecrated before the eyes of the nations, in whose midst they were, before whose eyes I made myself known to them, to bring them out of the land of Egypt. And I brought them out of the land of Egypt, and I brought them into the wilderness. And I gave them my statutes and my ordinances I made known to them, which, if a man perform them, he shall live through them. V'gam et shabtotai natati lahem, liot leot beini uvenehem l'da'at, ki ani Adonai Mot-Kedoshim. Moreover, I gave them my Sabbaths to be for a sign between me and them, to know that I, the Lord, make them holy. Vayamru bi. Vayameru bi. Beit Yisrael b'midbar, v'chukotai lo halachu, v'mishpatai ma'asu, asher ya'aseh otam adam chai bahem, v'et shabtotai chilelu me'od. Va'omar l'shpoch achamati alehem, b'midbar lecha lotam. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statutes, and they despised my ordinances, which if a man keep, he will live through them. And my Sabbaths they desecrated exceedingly. Then I said to pour out my wrath upon them in the wilderness to make an end to them. Va'eseh leman shemi levilti echel le'enei hagoyim asher hotzetim le'enehem. And I wrought for the sake of my name, so it should not be desecrated before the eyes of the nations, before whose eyes I have brought them out. V'gam ani nasati yadi lahem b'midbar lebilti havi otam el haaretz asher natati zavat chalav u'devash tzvi hi lechol haratzot. But I also lifted my hand to them in the wilderness, that I would not bring them into the land which I had given them, flowing with milk and honey. It is the glory of all lands. Ya'an b'mishpatai ma'asu v'chukotai lo halachu bahem v'shabtotai chilelu ki acharei gelu lehem libam olech. Because they despised my ordinances and my statutes, they did not walk, and my Sabbaths they desecrated, for their heart were constantly after their idols. Their heart went constantly after their idols. Vatachas einei alehem mishachatam v'lo asiti otam kala b'midbar. Nevertheless, my eye looked pityingly upon them, not to destroy them, and I did not make an end to them in the wilderness. Va'omar el benehem b'midbar b'chukei avotechem v'lo al telechu el mishpatehem al tishmeru v'glulehem al titamau. But I said to their children in the wilderness, in the statutes of your fathers, do not walk, and do not observe their ordinances, and do not defile yourselves with their idols. Ani Adonai Elohechem v'chukotai lechu et mishpatai shimru v'asuotam. I am the Lord your God. Walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and fulfill them. V'et shabtotai kadeshu v'hayu leot beini u'enechem l'da'at ki ani Adonai Elohechem. And keep my Sabbaths holy, so that they be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am the Lord your God.